Hi guys, good evening. Welcome back once again to the EdWord. I'm your host Eddie, and in tonight's video I will be discussing what I thought of the latest and incredibly good episode of The X-Files, which premiered last night on Fox. I just watched it this very moment. Excuse me. Man, I sneeze at the worst times. I just watched it. Wow, what an episode. What an episode. This was great. God, they're just keeping that feel. Okay, before I go into it, of course, and I keep blabbering on and on, of course, please be warned that this video review will be full of spoilers regarding the most recent episode of X-Files. So if you're not caught up with this most recent episode, do not keep watching or listening, as I will be going into giant spoilers. So you have been warned. That being said, what a great episode. What a great episode. I guess I would call this a classic. I don't know if this would be called a mythology episode or a telekinet or a supernatural telekinetic episode. I mean, it definitely was. I just don't know what kind of episode you would call it. I don't know if I would go as far to call it Monster of the Week, but this was definitely up there in terms of entertainment and thrills. It was definitely something else. I think it was so great that they got the talented, the awesome actress Karen Konoval, who we have seen in more recent years in the new Apes franchise. She played Maurice, Caesar's closest ally through all three ape films. Maurice the orangutan. She provided the motion capture for him, and of course, X-Files fans know her better as Ma Peacock from the classic episode from season 4, Home. And I think obvious, and I think she was in one or two more other X-File episodes as completely different characters, but we all know her best as Ma Peacock, the woman who was under the bed without the arms and legs, and the very chilling performance that she gave. Did a fantastic job. It's a great episode. And once again, she did a great job in this episode as well. Not only playing a deranged woman with multiple personalities, but then a deranged man who was the woman's fraternal twin brother with multiple personalities. So you've got these two people with multiple personalities, and they're unpredictable, they're moody, they're prone to violent mood swings, and then they can communicate to each other via telekinesis. And then it's like they play a game, they play a very real life and death game of hangman using real people's lives. And, it was pretty scary stuff that they were out there, kind of controlling people's fates, or at least their deaths, the outcome of their deaths. I mean, that's pretty chilling stuff. And I love how during this whole episode, the two agents, I mean, Mulder obviously suspects and kind of knows what's going on, with Scully always being the logical, rational one, always reverting back to science and common sense when it comes to these investigations. But it's like they know something is going on, they just don't understand it, and they can't explain what it is. And then they go back and forth, they riff each other on that. Like, there were a lot of really good puns in this episode. And like every time Scully turned over in her bed and she saw Mulder standing there, it freaked her out. And he said some smart sarcastic remark or something like that. I mean, it was funny. Mulder was pretty damn funny in this episode. I mean, David Duchovny is so deadpan. That's what makes this character so likable. And, Gillian Anderson had some awesome one-liners as well. She had some funny one-liners too. I mean, the two agents, it's like they've been doing this for so long, where in like earlier seasons where they would be so adamant and opposed to one another's beliefs or theories about whatever the case or investigation was they were covering. Now they can riff each other, joke with each other about it, and smile and just laugh it off, even though they take it very seriously. What they don't take so seriously is the other person's, not necessarily their convictions, but maybe it's like just the way they come off. Like, they respect and like each other so much, where they've gotten to a point in their relationship where they can disagree with one another without without it becoming disrespectful or awkward. And I think this episode did a good job demonstrating that. It really reflected in their performances, in David Duchovny and Gillian Anderson's performances, and you can really feel the characters' charms rubbing off on you this whole episode. And then speaking of charms, wow, they dropped, not necessarily a bombshell, but they kind of like threw it in our face there that, they hooked up there. We had that one scene where they were both facing each other in bed, and the next thing you know it, Mulder's putting his pants on and he's washing his face, and then we see Scully under the sheets where her top is clearly off. She's probably naked underneath the sheets, so they clearly just made love. And then it's implied at the end of the episode. I mean, wow, it's like they're no longer being shy about being an item, and the show isn't shy about it either. It's finally gotten to a point where, yes, they can openly be lovers out in the open. It just feels like it makes sense in a way. And but God, this episode was just so great. It felt like a classic X-Files episode. Well, at the same time, it was like gave us a whole bunch of new stuff. New charming character banter between the two leads, how the playful riffing of each other for their beliefs going back and forth with one another, and then their the investigation phase of the story as well, like investigating this shit. How are these people dying? What is causing it, or who's causing it, and how? And then just incredible performances with Duchovny, with Anderson, and then with Karen Konoval, who played both parts of the two fraternal telekinetic twins. I mean, it was just so damn good. And then, they had one of the more interesting deaths in the show, where they revealed that the lawyer's doppelganger had cut off his head. And of course, they were trying to figure out, how does a man cut off his own head? Well, really, he probably can't. I mean, I don't think he could. Yeah, and it's just it was just the special effects for that display, that setup where the body was discovered. That was pretty damn cool too. I mean, this episode was just so damn good. It was just so well done. It was like they took a little bit of old and a little bit of new, put it together, and they got this beautifully balanced episode. And I would love it if the rest of the season was like this. Like, maybe not necessarily the same kind of case or the nature of the investigation, but if they did a little combination of a little bit of old and a little bit of new, then I would be very happy with that, because this was a very good, very charming episode, and I'm looking forward to the next one. So, what did you guys think of this episode? Did you like it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Were you stuck somewhere in between? Is this your favorite episode of the season so far, even though we're only 3 episodes in? Please leave your thoughts, opinions, and your feedback down below in the comment section. You guys have been doing a phenomenal job with that lately, especially with the X-Files Season 11. Please keep it up. I encourage it. I love it. I love seeing you guys comment on these videos, and I love reaching out to you guys and replying as well. Thank you so much. You are helping this channel become better every day with each new video. So thank you so much for that. And of course, have a great rest of the night. Don't forget, you can catch new episodes of the X-Files premiering every Wednesday night on Fox. Check your local listings for times. Have a great rest of the night, everybody. And of course, until next time, the truth is out there.